The front office in New Orleans is moving with a calculated urgency that we rarely see during the opening days of free agency. We are looking at a fundamental shift in the team philosophy as the salary cap situation forces tough decisions across the board. Every single move made in the coming hours will dictate the ceiling of this franchise for the next 3 seasons. If you are as invested in this transition as I am, help us reach our goal of 1,000 subscribers by hitting that button right now to stay ahead.
The New Orleans Saints have officially committed to a new direction at the tight end position by agreeing to terms with Noah Fant on a multi-year deal. This is a significant move for the organization as they bring in a player with 7 years of NFL experience to anchor their offensive scheme. From a tactical standpoint, Noah Fant offers a distinct blend of athleticism and reliability that the coaching staff has been desperately craving during their recent film evaluations. When you look at the cap implications, this signing suggests the front office is prioritizing veteran consistency over developmental projects, aiming to maximize their window while the roster core remains competitive. The addition of Noah Fant signals that the team is shifting toward a more versatile passing attack, one that forces opposing linebackers to stay honest in coverage. This is not just a depth signing, it is a clear intent to elevate the floor of the offense immediately. The veteran presence that Noah Fant brings into the building cannot be overstated, especially when you consider the complexity of the current playbook. He has proven he can handle the physical toll of the league, and his familiarity with high-pressure situations will be an asset as the Saints look to reclaim their dominance in the division. The financial commitment here, while substantial, reflects the reality that elite tight ends are becoming the most valuable chess pieces on the board. The analysts will question the long-term impact on the cap, but for now, the coaching staff is focused on the immediate tactical advantage. This signing changes how defenses will have to account for the middle of the field, and it puts pressure on the rest of the roster to step up their production. However, this aggressive pursuit of a new target at tight end begs the question, what happens to the incumbent talent who has been a staple of this locker room for years? Is there truly enough room for everyone, or are we witnessing a transition that leaves some fan favorites in the rearview mirror as the team pivots toward this new identity? The uncertainty surrounding the tight end room is palpable, and as we dig deeper into the departures, the picture becomes even more complex. You have to wonder how the locker room dynamics will shift when a veteran player who was once an integral part of the game plan decides to pack his bags and head elsewhere. The departure of established talent is always a difficult pill for the fan base to swallow, but it is a necessary component of the aggressive salary cap maneuvering we are seeing across the league today. We need to analyze why the team would move on from existing production to make space for these new acquisitions, and that leads us directly to the next major development occurring within the organization this week.
If you want to keep getting exclusive insights and the deepest tactical analysis on the New Orleans Saints roster moves, subscribe now and hit the bell to ensure you never miss an update on these developments.
The ripple effects of the Noah Fant signing have become immediately apparent as we confirm that a veteran tight end is leaving the Saints to join the Houston Texans. This move highlights the brutal nature of NFL free agency, where the arrival of one player often necessitates the exit of another due to strict salary cap limitations. From the perspective of the Houston Texans, they are acquiring a proven commodity, a player who understands the nuances of the position and provides a reliable target for their young quarterback. For the New Orleans Saints, losing this veteran is a blow to the continuity of the offense, but it is a calculated risk taken by the front office to reallocate resources toward other priority areas. When we analyze the scheme fit, the departure suggests that the Saints are looking for a specific type of production that differs from what they had previously. It is a classic case of the league resetting itself, where a player seeks a fresh start in a different system, while the original team looks to optimize their cap efficiency. The emotional impact on the fan base is significant, as losing a respected veteran who has contributed to the team culture is never easy. However, the business of football waits for no one, and the organization must keep its eyes on the long-term goal of building a championship-caliber roster. By moving on, the team is essentially betting that they can maintain their offensive rhythm despite the loss of a familiar face. This leaves us questioning the depth of the roster and whether the new additions can truly replicate the chemistry that was built over the last several seasons. The move to Houston is a clear indication that players are prioritizing systems where they can see a direct path to personal success, and for the Saints, it is a reality check on their current market standing. The strategic shift here is undeniable, and as we look at the broader landscape of the roster, we have to consider the impact on the defensive side of the ball as well. When you see a key leader at tight end walk away, you have to ask yourself if the leadership void is being addressed across the entire team, or if the focus has shifted entirely to the offensive side of the ledger. The domino effect of these personnel changes is just beginning, and it is hitting the defense in a way that many supporters might not have anticipated. We are seeing a complete overhaul of the veteran core, and the implications of this extend far beyond just the tight end position. As we turn our attention to the defensive side of the ball, we find that the losses are not limited to the offense, creating a narrative of change that is both surprising and deeply concerning for those who value the established leaders who have defined this era of Saints football.
The most jarring development of the week is now official, as veteran linebacker Demario Davis has signed a 2-year deal with the New York Jets. Losing a player of his caliber, both on and off the field, is a transformative event for the New Orleans Saints. Demario Davis was the heartbeat of the defense, the primary communicator, and the leader who set the tone for every practice and game. Watching him walk away in free agency is a sobering reminder that even the most influential players are subject to the cold, hard math of the salary cap. The New York Jets are getting a player who brings immediate credibility and high-level performance, which is exactly what they need to anchor their defensive front. For the Saints, this creates a massive void that cannot be filled by a single acquisition. It will require a collective effort from the coaching staff and the remaining defensive players to maintain the standard that Demario Davis established. The emotional weight of this loss is palpable throughout the organization. He was not just a playmaker, he was a culture setter. When you lose that level of leadership, you are not just losing tackles and sacks, you are losing the psychological edge that comes with having a general on the field. The analytical side of this suggests the team is trying to get younger and potentially cheaper at the linebacker position, but the cost of that transition is the loss of a veteran who provided stability during the most chaotic moments of the season. This signing with the New York Jets marks the end of an era in New Orleans, and it forces us to reevaluate the defensive expectations for the upcoming year. The scheme will likely have to adapt to the absence of his unique skill set, perhaps becoming more reliant on sub-packages or different alignments to mask the lack of experience. It is a gamble, and one that the front office will have to justify with their performance on the field. The fans are understandably frustrated, as Demario Davis was a pillar of the community and the team. This is the reality of the modern NFL, where loyalty is often superseded by strategic necessity. The question now becomes whether the leadership vacuum can be filled by the younger generation, or if this is the start of a longer, more difficult rebuild than anyone initially anticipated. We are seeing the team move on from multiple veterans in a very short window, and the total effect of these departures is a roster that looks drastically different than it did just a few months ago. As we reflect on the departure of Noah Fant's predecessor and the exit of the defensive captain, it is clear that the Saints are undergoing a fundamental restructuring. The strategy seems to be a total reset, but can they maintain their competitive edge while they rebuild the core of their identity? This is the defining question for the organization as they navigate these turbulent waters of free agency.
We are witnessing a truly historic shift for the New Orleans Saints. From the arrival of new offensive weapons to the painful departure of defensive icons like Demario Davis, this front office is clearly signaling that no one is safe from their aggressive new plan. The landscape of this team will look unrecognizable when the season kicks off. I want to hear from you. Are these moves a brilliant long-term play for cap flexibility, or is the team sacrificing too much of its identity for a rebuild that might take years to pay off? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let us keep the conversation going as we navigate these changes together. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next report.